This is possum Banksia, Banksia Black. As you can see, it's sort of fallen over a bit, but it has the biggest flowers of the Banksia species that you'll find. When we formed the Friends of Swan Reserve, the first project we had was to clear this Banksia bed which had become overgrown and created a track through the middle of it so people could walk through and see what the plants were. A big collection of Banksias here, some Hakeas and things too, anything to do with Proteaceae species, so quite a few here. This is Banksia, one of the Spherocappas. I can't exactly remember which one, it could be Lanata or one of those. The yellow one is Banksia epica. Very similar to the Primorsa, the yellow Primorsa, and the one behind it is a red Primorsa. That's got a lot bigger than I thought it would too. This is Banksia Spinulosa. It's a different form of Spinulosa to the normal one. I didn't know what it was for a long time, but it turns out to be one from Carnarvon Gorge in Queensland. This is Banksia tricuspis. It comes from the Mount Lesueur range in Western Australia. It looks a bit like a pine tree, but it's not a pine tree. It's flowering, as you can see up the top. This sat here and did nothing for 10 or 20 years, it didn't flower at all. And since then it's been going crazy. It's been there for well over 30 years and yeah, doing really well. This is Banksia Black defolia in the foreground. That's been there quite a long time now and it's spreading this way. It comes out this way and flowers, and then sends out more shoots, so it's gradually creeping out this way. Behind it is Banksia media. It's not prostrate anymore, but it's the low-growing one, which is a brilliant Banksia too. The birds love that. And over further we have Banksia repens and petiolaris as well. So we've got 3 prostrate Banksias there. This is Eucalyptus Pluricappa subspecies lobata. And lobata, because of the big seed cones that you can see, they're huge. I grew this from seed. Deakin University out the road there has a native garden and I found it out there, pinched a bit of seed off it and grew it and planted it here. So it's doing really, really well, as you can see. It's been flowering like crazy in the past, so it's a spectacular plant. This is Eucalyptus Pluricappa. I wanted to grow one of those, so I got some seed in, planted it, and I got one came up, and that was it. And it's done really, really well. It's got a bit of height on it now, so I've taken the bottom leaves off it to make it look a bit taller. It's doing really well, so it flowers really well. It's on the east side of the highway bed. So I've got a good collection of Aeromothers through here, mainly maculatus and glabras, but some other different things as well. So okay, this is our grass tree beds. I always wanted a grass tree bed. Bees love it. Doing really, really well. There's 2 different ones there, 2 different forms, and also the ones at the front. I was given those just recently, and they're another different grass tree as well. I haven't identified which one it is yet. This is Muntrees, which is Banksia pomifera. It has a red berry on it. Brilliant white flower, and then it produces a red berry, which you can eat. It tastes a bit like apples, or you can make it into a jam. Aboriginal people used to know when these were ripe along the coastline. They occur over Portland to Nelson, way on the coastline. And Aboriginal people knew when these were going to be ripe. They were a good food source for them. A very pretty plant in flower and a very useful one for food, as a food source as well.